Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, as you know, we are in January, it's a new year. That also means a January transfer window. So me and Connor have done some scouting and we're going to suggest a player for each team in the Premier League. We're going alphabetical order, starting with AFC Bournemouth. Who have you got, Connor, for them to sign this January?
It's a punchy one, but I've gone with Kelleher from Liverpool. At the moment they've got Kepa, he's having quite a good season, to be fair, doing good, but he's on loan. So it could be
it's a bit tough.
Yeah, it could be a bit tricky come towards the end of the season, whether his market value does go up and all that stuff. So I went with Kelleher because the man's screaming for first team football.
He's quality.
He's screaming for first team football, and Alisson's come back in now, and he's been given the bench. You know, and for a player like that who's proved himself now.
He definitely has.
Yeah, and he needs
100%.
to be first team football, and that's why I suggested Bournemouth, because he can compete with Kepa, and then Kepa's gone at the end of the season, you know, so he can just slot right in. And the way Bournemouth are playing as well this season, you know, they're challenging for Europe, basically define expectations really that you expect from Bournemouth, and I think it'd be a good fit.
For Bournemouth, that Kelleher's a brilliant shout, by the way. I've gone with Ricky Puig.
Oh, okay,
We talked about him in the Arsenal video.
Yeah.
He's Spanish as well, so you know they'll have the links with, is it Hoydson, the centre back?
Yeah, and obviously the manager.
Iriola, obviously.
Yeah.
And I just think Iriola can mould him into like this perfect little 10 or an 8, just pinging passes through.
I can see it, yeah.
And obviously you've got Evan Nilsson and Unal who could capitalise on them chances. And the way Bournemouth are playing, like you said, with Europe, it's going to be a bigger appeal in the MLS, money-wise, trophy-wise. And I just think Iriola is the man to, like I said, mould him. Right, on to Arsenal next.
Yeah.
I've gone with a striker.
Yeah, same.
An out-and-out number 9, because I don't really have one. I haven't suggested Gyökeres, like I have done in loads of videos.
I have, but it's a mistake, as you've probably seen in the news. But yeah, go on then.
I have gone with Dusan Vlahovic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On a loan with an option to buy. Just before we carry on, we are doing loans, transfers and pre-contract agreements, because it's January and it's hard to buy players. But yeah, Dusan Vlahovic is playing really well in Serie A at the moment. Yeah. Despite falling out with the Juve fans. The Juve fans don't like him.
They hate him. I've seen it on socials. Yeah, they just don't like him for some reason.
Because I did have Gyökeres, admittedly. Yeah. But then after seeing the stuff about him and the fans, I was like, perhaps he could come to the Premier League. He's built for it. He's physical. He's fast. He's a good finisher.
It makes sense.
He's been linked with Arsenal before. And I just think he fits this Arsenal team like a glove. Yeah. Like I said, big physical finisher, and Arsenal do have a lot of big boys in that team.
And they're screaming for number 9.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
I know Jesus is in form right now because we have a friend who's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, that will last about 5 games, as it probably has now.
But I think Vlahovic can, you know, be consistent. And I was looking at his heat maps for the season, and he will get stick for it, but Haaland gets praise for it. He's mainly in that penalty box.
Yeah,
he's
in
the he's in the 12-yard box. He's in the box. That's where you need your number 9. Yeah. I just think go for a loan to get him out of Juve, because obviously Juve are also looking at Xerxes.
Yeah.
So will they want Xerxes to, you know, replace Vlahovic? Vlahovic can come in at Arsenal and potentially be their number 9. Yeah. So
yeah, fair enough.
Vlahovic for me. Right, shall we go on to Aston Villa next?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I have gone with a right back. Yeah. He's more of a wing back, judging by his stats and his heat map. I've gone with Oscar Mingueza.
Yeah, former Barca.
Celta Vigo.
Yeah, he's with Barca.
Yeah. I saw it earlier. Fabrizio Romano reported it, and I'm pretty sure that man's hacking my notes because I've had this guy down for like 3 weeks. His stats are quality. I mean, he's playing. I don't really watch a lot of La Liga. No. But he's performing well in a Celta Vigo team. He averages an average match rating of about 7.6, which is good.
That is high. That is that's good. Yeah.
He is the highest performing right-sided defender in the Liga, above Koundé. Yeah. Oh, okay. And Koundé gets a lot of hype. I'm not saying he's a bad player. No. But you know, Mingueza's sort of going under the radar.
It speaks volumes about him if he's on the par with them and them lot. Yeah.
And obviously the Spanish connection with Emery, with Pau Torres. Yeah. Matty Cash is good, but he's not.
Yeah, you never know with him what Cash is going to turn up on the day.
Honestly, he's got 2 goals and 5 assists. He's 6 foot as well, so if they need to slot him in centre back, he can easily do that.
Yeah, he plays centre back for Barcelona as well.
So there we go, even better. And he's only 25 as well. He's still quite young.
That's it. I went with a right back as well. Yeah, I went with Sagawa from Southampton.
Okay.
He signed there in the summer. And and I think he made a bad career choice because he was very promising at AZ. You know, he looked like a really good right back.
Oh, him!
Yeah,
I didn't know you was talking about
the
him.
Japanese right back. Yeah. He looked really good, and he moved to Southampton, and it was sort of like career suicide, I think, to be honest, because he's going to be playing Championship next season, and he's a much better player than that. I've seen the numbers at AZ. I've printed in a few videos before that. You know, he's a quality right back, and he deserves to be a good team. But he went to Southampton. Season's gone, Harris gone, and now he looks like he's going to be playing Championship next season. So for me, a right back that needs to basically play at a better level, to be honest, is Sugawara.
Yeah. Right, should we move on to the Bs next? Brentford. Who have you got for Brentford?
I've gone with Lewis Miley of Newcastle.
Okay, I forgot about him.
Yeah, the reason why I forgot about him, he hasn't played this season. Eddie Howe's dropped into the under-23s this season.
To be fair, isn't he still like 17, 18?
Yeah, but to me that makes no sense because he was quality in that first Champions League season. I remember he was just running the show. Yeah, he was holding his own against big teams in Europe. You're thinking PSG, AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund. He was holding his own. He wasn't having bad games. You know, he's a good player. Always put in 7 out of 10 performances. And yet he got dropped to the under-23s, and it just makes no sense to me. And it's sort of quite an underrated thing because when people see that, the player that he has been in the past few seasons, why not take a gamble? He's not playing. He's not in Eddie Howe's plans for the moment. So why not put in a bid in for him? Because he's a quality player. He's proved that he can be, a decent level player. And Brentford sort of have a midfield that's underrated and also not spoken about enough. Like, they haven't got big names in there, but they all work well together. Yeah. And I think Lewis Miley's sort of that sort of profile, not a big name, but he can do a job. So that's why I think Lewis Miley could be a great signing for Brentford.
I might get a few bad comments, but I've gone with Leif Davis.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know they've got Keane Lewis Potter, who's been playing well at wing back.
Yeah.
But Leif Davis, to me, is very similar to Rico Henry, who had a lot of success at Brentford.
Yeah, he's still there, didn't he? Is he still there?
I don't know.
I think he might still be there, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a while. But yeah, he just seems to fly under the radar of big teams. I mean, a couple months back, I think when they got promoted, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
I had suggested him for Man United.
Yeah, I remember.
And that's ringing true now, he left back. But it's not getting spoke about that he broke the championship assist record. Left back.
And for how young he was as well in that season.
Crazy. Yeah. I just think Brentford would be a great step up for him. He's got the second most key passes in Europe. 37, yeah.
For an Ipswich side as well, yeah.
And do you know who betters him?
Go on.
Alex Grimaldo by Leverkusen.
That
speaks volumes.
Yeah.
I just think Brentford will be getting a quality little left back.
They would to be fair.
Right, on to the Seagulls next, Brighton.
Yep.
I had a bit of a tough time with this one, but you helped me out. You suggested a centre back.
Yep.
And that's what I've gone with, centre back.
Yeah.
I've gone with Kevin Danzo.
Oh yeah, Lens he plays for?
Yeah. Read recently, I don't know where I saw it, so sorry I can't give credit.
Yeah.
That apparently they are willing to sell him other than their other centre backs.
Oh, okay.
Because they've got that Uzbekistani player coming through. I forgot his name.
City's
I do apologise.
Interested in him. Yeah.
And I've looked at his stats. I thought he was quite old, Kevin Danzo. He's only 26.
Yeah, I knew he was mid-20s somewhere around there.
I thought he was like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
He's 6'3" as well. And I know I'm referencing him a lot in this video, but his heat map, there's a lot at CDM, so I think he can play there as well, where he brings it out from the back.
And that suits Brighton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly the reason I put him in there.
Yeah.
The minute I saw that heat map and his passing, I was like,
makes
brilliant.
sense.
And I'm going back to the reason that you said to me to go for a centre back, because their centre backs are quite old. You were telling me.
Yeah. You got Lewis Dunk, who's 33.
And Webster, innit?
Webster's just on. I think he's 30 now. So. Yeah. They're looking to probably shift up the centre back, so that's why I suggested the centre back. So, and I went with Benoit Badiashile.
Oh, okay.
From Chelsea.
Doing a reverse, he's going at Brighton.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, as I said, Asian centre backs need someone to come in. Badiashile ain't really playing as much. He's normally in that Conference League team, and he showed what a promising player he was at Monaco. And you do see with players when they go to big teams, certain systems they don't suit and they don't look as good. Like, I feel like Disasi is a much worse centre-back, and yet he gets more game time than Badiashile.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Disasi.
Yeah. He's not nowhere near good enough. They signed him for 35 million, Chelsea, but when he's not playing, when he's only in the Conference League, surely they can't demand that same fee. Yeah. So maybe around the 25 million mark wouldn't be too bad, I feel. I just feel like he's a quality player, shown at Monaco, shown flashes at Chelsea. And I think it'll be a good player. So, I went with Badiashile.
Shall we go on to Chelsea.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I've gone with a centre back.
Oh, okay.
I did originally put Jordan Pickford in.
I have got Jordan Pickford.
Okay, so you've basically nicked what I say.
Yeah, basically, it's just true though.
And I've gone with a player by the name of Wilfried Singo.
Oh yeah,
from Monaco.
I thought he was a fullback, to be honest.
He is a fullback,
yeah,
but he can play centre back.
Okay, yeah.
You know how they use Reece James at centre back?
Yeah.
Your favourite player.
Yeah.
And he's 6'3" as well, so he's not going to have any problem with the physical side.
Yeah.
And before we go on to Pickford, I just want to compare him to Chelsea's other centre backs.
Yeah.
So compared to Badiashile, obviously he's playing at right back, I know.
Yeah.
But he's got more assists, got more interceptions, clearances, and a better average match rating.
Yeah.
He's younger than Disasi. He's got more assists. He's better in every defensive stat. So that includes your clearances, interceptions, tackles, blocks.
Yeah.
Wins more ground than aerial duels. And compared to Tosin Adarabioyo, he is younger, better average match rating, better in every defensive stat, and he wins more ground duels. And Singo's rated at 20 to 25. So
can't go wrong then, can you? Yeah.
It's just good price for money.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's worth a gamble.
I went with Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
As you said, crying out for a goalkeeper.
They are.
I'm basically repeating what Lee said past few episodes, but yeah, he's quality. He's proven year in year out that he's much better than Everton. He is their main man every year they go into the league season, and gets them out of jail constantly. And even England as well at a bigger level.
Oh yeah,
he's performing. So he can perform on them big stages, and Chelsea needs someone who's a leader, who can communicate well.
He definitely does that.
Yeah, and just show a bit of, a bit of fire in the team as well.
He has a lot of fire.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I feel like he's captain material as well. He can definitely have the
100%.
armband. So yeah, I went with Jordan Pickford.
Right, so we're staying in London. We're moving to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I have gone with James McAtee on a loan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I went with Angel Gomez from Lille.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to go with your McAtee?
Yeah. The only reason why I have to thank Joe Tomlinson for this one. I was watching his video.
Yeah.
He came through the Man City Academy at the same time as Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
They flew the nest, and look how well they're playing.
Yeah.
McAtee was also one of the star players of that Sheffield United team.
Yeah. They
were god awful, but he was really good. And I think I don't know if they're the same position. I don't know where McAtee plays.
Yeah.
But he can go the Conor Gallagher route. You know, play well at Crystal Palace, and then maybe at the end of the season or in a couple of seasons' time, get a big move. Crystal Palace will get a Man City product who knows how to play a good brand of football.
Yeah.
And McAtee will get the minutes that he wants and he deserves, because he's only played like less than 10 minutes of football. I think.
But the thing, recent going into it now, he's getting a lot more minutes.
This was a while ago.
Yeah, he done really well against when we played Leicester away from home. He come on, he changed the game.
Yeah.
And it seems like Pep's going to trust him more and more. And hopefully he's learnt from Cole Palmer leaving, because obviously Morgan Rogers was never in the team, so you can't really blame Guardiola for that. But Cole Palmer, maybe, hopefully, he sees the light and goes, I need to give McAtee some minutes now. Like, I don't want another Cole Palmer situation on my hands. So I went with Angel Gomez from Lille.
Good little signs.
Yeah, they've been lacking a lot of creativity since Elise left, I think.
Definitely.
I mean, it mirrors what their league position is doing. Angel Gomez can play in the 8, he can play in the 6. Look at when he was at England, he was doing really well there. And yeah, I just feel like his contract is also running out, so I forgot to mention. His contract's running out, so you can get him on a cheap in January if Lille don't want to get a contract. Yeah, if they don't want to do that, why not go for like a cheeky 10-15 million bid? Because you're seeing Trent get a bid for 20 million from Real Madrid, when his contract's run out. He's, Gomez is probably half the player that Trent is.
Came from Man United as well.
Yeah, exactly. Gomez, yeah, so
right, let's move on to Everton now.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone with a right back.
Yeah.
I've gone with Kyle Walker-Peters.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason why I've done this is Everton need a younger right back. Let's be real. Their right backs are both 35 plus. Yeah. Despite his name, Ashley Young is not young. He's nearly 40.
Yeah.
And Coleman's 36. So
how is that, man? How have they both got legs?
Honestly, the depth is not great at right back.
Yeah.
Now, Walker-Peters is older than I thought. He's 27, which is nuts. I remember when he came through at Spurs.
Yeah, I feel like he's been. I feel he's one of the ones who's been there for ages.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he's been in the picture for ages. But
yeah, obviously he's English as well, so he suits Sean Dyche because he loves an English player.
Yeah.
Relegation rival as well, so it'd be a big statement from Everton.
Yeah.
And whenever I've watched Southampton, Kyle Walker-Peters is like the main anchor of their attack.
Yeah.
And I think Everton need a bit of help with chance creation.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
nuts
they
saying
do.
you need a right back for that. But the way I've seen him play,
Yeah.
I just think Everton could do worse.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
This was an old note, by the way. I went with Jed Spence, but now he's getting minutes. He's getting good game time, and he looks like a player. He looks like a quality player. And this was written a few weeks ago, so obviously it was a video we had in the pipeline. But yeah, I went with Jed Spence, but now he's getting the game time. But it's still a right back. Everton need a right back.
They need a lot of
that's the position they need in January. They need someone in there just to revitalise it, because Coleman and Young, like, if Young gets injured, Young ain't bad, but it's just he's
still reckless. Though.
Yeah,
he's
he can be.
Reckless.
Yeah, I went with on the next one, Fulham. I went with Bazunu.
Right. Oh, really, goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with Leno, to be fair. But
he's Leno's 32.
Ooh,
So he's getting on a bit now, and I'm not saying for him to start straight away and push Leno to the side.
Just bed him in.
Yeah, bed him in, but also Bazunu can also learn from him, where he's had experience from Arsenal and all that stuff, and sort of be an understudy for when he does shift on and come straight in. So yeah, I went Bazunu, to be honest.
Okay, mine is very, very punchy.
Okay.
But when I explain the factors, hopefully it'll make a bit more sense.
Okay.
I've gone with Paul Pogba. Hear me out. Obviously, I know he's 33.
Yeah.
But look at the players who've had comebacks at Fulham, even the miniature ones.
Yeah.
You've got the likes of Iwobi, Leno, Pereira, Jimenez, Smith Rowe's become absolutely vital. Willian as well before he left.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense to me. I mean, he won't have to worry. Well, Fulham won't have to worry about big wages because he's older, and he does have that injury record.
Yeah.
So Fulham can be like, well, we're gonna pay you this. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just think his natural ability would push that Fulham team up the table so much more. And they're obviously fighting for Europe. I think Pogba could help them get it. But shall we move on to Ipswich now?
Let's go for it. Who we got?
You're going to hate this suggestion. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah.
I've gone with James Trafford. I knew you were going to laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
But
he's in love with James Trafford.
No, I just think he's a good quality young keeper.
Yeah.
And I think McKenna is that manager who can develop him. And he's an upgrade on Muric.
Who isn't an upgrade on Muric?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Muric is dog shit.
Yeah.
But and I don't know why he replaced Trafford at Burnley, but
yeah,
Trafford's had that Premier League season under his belt now. He can only, like I said, he can only get better. He's only 22 still. He's a big boy as well, 6'6", so he won't struggle with your tall strikers coming at him and stuff like that. The only problem is I can see with this transfer is Burnley are in the promotion spots, I think, in the Championship.
Yeah.
Will they want to let their number one go?
And will James Trafford, looking at Ipswich, where they're lingering about, why would he want to stay another year in the Championship? It's fair enough, yeah.
I just don't see any negatives to this deal. The only thing is it's 20 million. He is valued at 20 million, but Burnley could charge a lot more than that.
I went with goalkeeper as well.
Okay.
Quite an unknown one as well. Amir Saipi, he's called. He's from the Swiss League.
Okay. You've done some proper scouting.
Yeah. He plays for Lugano in the Swiss League.
Okay.
He's the best goalkeeper in the Swiss League with an average rating of 7.2. But it's a conference league really that he's performed really well. His average rating of 7.7 in the conference league with Lugano.
That's high, especially for a keeper.
Only 22 years of age. He's also a Kosovan, same as Muric. So maybe they could bounce. A bit of competition. He's probably far better than Muric, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, it'll only be a few million quid as well. Like Lugano, Swiss League, they can get him on a cheap fee. He's performed well in Europe against some decent sides. Why not take a gamble? They're most likely going to be in and around the relegation, maybe even the Championship. So it's just whether they're willing to, or the player I'm suggesting is willing to be an understudy or maybe battle with Muric and be willing to go down to the Championship. He could do with a season in the Championship. Well, see what he's made of, because
that's a tough league.
And
Callum will tell you that. It's a tough league.
You've seen lots of Mads Hermansen. He's done really well in the Championship. Comes to the Premier League and he's doing decent as well in the Premier League. Yeah, so I went with Amir Saipi.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Right. On to Leicester, another relegation rival, Ipswich.
Yeah. I
have gone with a relatively unknown player.
Yeah.
He's a centre-back, but I looked at his stats now, actually really good.
Okay.
I've gone with Joris Kramer of Go Ahead Eagles.
Oh, okay.
The Eredivisie.
I like that. I like
obscure,
that. Yeah.
Obscure.
I like it.
I just thought Leicester needs centre-backs. Without faces, dog shit. awful player.
They're getting another understatement.
Yeah. He's David Luiz from Timo.
Yeah.
He's proper. I just think he would be perfect for this Leicester team, Joris Kramer. He's 28, so he's experienced but not old.
Yeah.
He's a left-footed centre-back, which is
always
horrible.
Always hot property, isn't it?
And he isn't afraid to bring the ball out from the back. Again, I'm referencing another heat map.
Yeah.
It starts at the back and then proceeds to go up the midfield.
Yeah.
So he's not afraid to bring it out. The best thing about this is the price.
Yeah.
He's valued at $1 million.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And I think Leicester at most would probably have to pay about 5.
Yeah.
At most.
Probably. He's 28 as well. He's not going to get any better, is he? But yeah, that's...
And he's only got 2 years on his contract. That's not a lot.
No.
In terms of football transfers.
Again, once he sees Leicester coming in, he'll probably want to force a
and
move anyway.
as well, Dutch legend.
Exactly. He probably want to move anyway. So.
Yeah, he's quite tall as well. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
So he's not going to struggle physically.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a good shout. I went with Harry Maguire. They do need a centre back.
Ah.
And I went with Harry Maguire.
On a loan or permanent?
Either, to be honest. I mean, Man United, they to be fair, Amorim does seem to favour Maguire this season.
A lot of managers do.
Yeah, but I feel like he'd be a decent defender. They've got a lot of competition around him as well. He's not
been there before.
Yeah. It's just whether Man United do sign a contract with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he's a Leicester boy. You know, he played there for years and years, hence why he's got his move to Man United. But he's still got ability to be a starter alongside Connor Cody and really shore up that defence even more and keep him in the league, probably, if they did sign him now.
Right, should we move on to the league leaders, Liverpool?
Go for it.
I have gone with Anthony Robinson.
It's a great shout, to be fair.
I don't know if they could get him in January, but I've seen a few links of him and a lot of people suggesting him. And I can see why. He's been arguably the best left-back in the league this season.
Yeah.
He's brilliant going forward. He's a brilliant defender. He's quick as well, strong.
Yeah.
And another thing that got me thinking was Liverpool have always signed good top performers from smaller clubs. You think Robertson from Hull, Van Dijk and Mane from Southampton, McAllister from Brighton, Jota from Wolves. I can carry on.
Yeah.
And Robertson isn't what he was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He's making a lot of mistakes. He's getting caught in possession. He's not as quick.
Yeah.
And I just think Robinson's an upgrade. And of course, if they do come in with a bid, he's going to think, hold on, title challenging Liverpool.
Yeah.
If I leave Fulham, I could go and be a title winner.
I went with Joshua Kimmich
Ooh.
for Liverpool.
Okay.
Trent's leaving. Looks nailed on now that he's going to leave. Kimmich can slot in there easy. His contract expiring as well. So once Trent's leave, that's it. Just get Kimmich in the end of the season.
Experienced as well.
Easy swap over. And Kimmich is just so solid. You know, he can play CDM, he can play centre mid, play right back. Multiple positions, got the experience to win trophies, league titles, season in, season out. So, yeah, I went with Kimmich for Liverpool.
You are a fucker suggesting Kimmich because I suggested him for our next team at Man City.
Yeah. You love suggesting it for us to do.
The thing is, it just makes sense, obviously, with what you said. But to add on to that, we are on to Man City, by the way.
Yeah.
He's played on Guardiola. He knows how the system works.
Yeah.
Consistent performer as well.
Yeah.
And just what you said. So, yeah, keep it short and sweet for me. Man City, I think we should go for Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah, I went with Zubimendi.
Oh, yeah, he's been linked.
For City, yeah. Obviously, no impact really from the defensive midfielders that have come in for Rodri for when he's been injured. Rico Lewis and Gundogan haven't been up to it. And they really need someone in there who's going to play the way we play, pass and move, all that stuff.
Spanish as well.
Spanish. And yeah, he just seems like another Rodri 2.0, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Coming from the Spanish league, similar profile. And looks to be in the media about 50 million. So it's not out of our price range.
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely
I mean, you signed Grealish for 100.
That's it, yeah. So I feel like he can easily be got. It's just whether he does stay with Sussex. We saw with Liverpool that he did stay. He didn't want to go to Liverpool, which is a big call.
It is a big
Could he
call.
do the same with us? So you never know.
Right, should we move on to your City rivals in Man United?
Yeah.
I have gone with a player on a pre-contract.
Yeah, okay.
Teammate of Kimmich. I've gone with Alphonso Davies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Before the comments get at us, he's linked with Real Madrid. I haven't seen any links in about 6 months.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they've died down, haven't they, really, bit since Trent sort of picked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they beat Lenny Euro. Man United beat Real Madrid to Lenny Euro.
Yeah,
so there you
could
go.
happen. Yeah,
He's out of contract in July as well. And for me, I think he's a perfect wing back for Amorim's system.
Yep.
He won't cost United a lot in fees because obviously it's a pre-contract. It'll be an unlikely Man United signing because it's smart and a young player.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good shout, to be fair.
He can link up with De Ligt and Mazraoui too, who's got the links with.
I went with Miguel Gutierrez from Girona,
Okay.
left back. Played really well in that season that they got Champions League football. And we've seen their left backs are trying to play Mazraoui left back, Dalot left back. Luke Shaw can't stay fit. Malassia's not even on the scene anymore. Don't know where the guy is.
Luke Shaw's busy filming TikToks with Molly Man. So, saying your mum's on benefits. So he ain't playing anytime soon.
That's it. But yeah, I went with Gutierrez. He can bomb forward. He's got 2 goals and 7 assists this season. And he's created the 8th most big chances in Europe this season. So he's your own.
Yeah,
exactly. And he's a player who loves to bomb forward, loves to create chances, and that's perfect for their sort of fullback slash, you know what I mean, the five at the back. Yeah. What Amarin does.
That's like Alfonso as well.
That's it. Yeah,
lovely.
And it wouldn't be much of a big cost either. You know, we've seen Girona give away players for not too big of a fee, so I could see it probably around the 20 to 30 million mark. So yeah, I went with Miguel Gutierrez.
Yeah, both good shouts, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, on to the Magpies now, Newcastle.
Yep.
I've gone with a centre-back.
Okay.
And again, his stats are outrageous.
Yeah.
I've gone with David Hanko.
Yeah. Of Feyenoord. Slovakian. Yeah.
Slovakian, yeah.
Yeah.
He's 27, so it's a good age. Good age profile.
Yeah.
Ball-playing centre-back. He completes about 8.6 progressive passes per match.
Okay,
and 2.5 progressive carries. And his pass accuracy is 88%. So
seems perfect, sort of a modern day centre back.
Yeah, and he takes around 2 shots a game, which is sort of like Fabian Schär.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, so he loves a banger, doesn't he?
He's 6'2", so he's not going to struggle physically.
Yeah.
Only issue is he's contracted until 2028.
Okay. Yeah.
And Newcastle do have a bit of PSR issues.
Yeah.
But Newcastle, they're a big English team. Could he be tempted?
Yeah.
Could he get it done?
Move? Yeah. I could see it. To be fair, it's a good shout. I went with Dennis Mann. Right winger, Romania.
Yeah.
Done really well in Euros. Got 2 assists in the Euros, and Romania had decent Euros, to be fair. That right wing spot is crying out for something. You know, Almiron has been poor, nowhere near the levels. They're trying to play Harvey Barnes on the right as well.
Not working. He cuts into his right.
It's not. You know what I mean? They're trying to make it fit, but it doesn't. And also Jacob Murphy is okay, but you know he's starting to be on the decline now. And it needs sort of an upgrade. So I went with Dennis Mann. As I said, played well in the Euros.
He's rapid as well.
Yeah, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists in the Serie A this season. Left-footed as well, same as Almiron. And he's only 26, so he's entering the prime years of his age now. And he's at Parma, so they're not going to demand a big fee, I don't think. I'd say around the 20 million mark.
They've bought from Serie A before.
Yeah, exactly. Well, So for me, I went with Dennis Mann for Newcastle.
On to Nottingham Forest now. I've gone with your suggestion for Bournemouth, Kelleher.
Oh, yeah.
Just for all the points you said. And I do think if he goes to Forest, I don't think his competition will be that good compared to...
No, definitely not.
Competing with Kepa.
Yep.
They're a bit light on goalkeepers at the moment as well.
I'd say Sells has been doing really well, to be fair, this season. Yeah,
but does Sells have the sort of experience Kelleher has?
No, of course not.
You know, Kelleher's played against Real Madrid, he's played in big league games. If he leaves Liverpool... goes to Nottingham Forest, even if they loan him for the 6 months and then with an option to buy, he could become a quality Prem number 1.
Yeah, good to be fair. Yeah, it's a good shout. I went with a goalkeeper as well, Alex Merritt from Napoli.
That'd be a tough one because Napoli are doing well.
Exactly, yeah. It's a sort of. I didn't really know where to go with Forest. They're having such a good year.
It was hard for me as well.
Yeah, they got covering basically every position, but Matt Sells, as you said, he's not. You know, he's having a good season, but he's not, been the best goalkeeper for the amount of years he's had. So you don't know what you're going to get next season. You know, he might fall off a cliff. But Alex Merritt, he's got good experience at Napoli, playing the Champions League for many years now, and has been a decent goalkeeper for years. So why not go to Napoli and maybe force a move from him? I don't know if he would go. It's sort of, again, as I said, it's a punchy one.
On to Southampton, having a god-awful season, to say the least.
I mean, everyone expected it, didn't they?
I mean, they need players wherever they can get them.
Yeah.
And I've gone with Ben Godfrey.
Okay,
on loan from Atalanta. He hasn't played for Atalanta this season.
It does. I don't know why. I don't know how he went there in the first place.
Yeah, it was a bit of an odd one. Even everyone was like, "What's he going there?"
Yeah.
He's only played 22 league minutes at the time of recording.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
He's got Premier League experience with Everton. He wasn't very good at Everton, but it's experience. And Southampton, like I said, need any players they can get, especially at centre-back, to try and at least avoid a record low points tally.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, they are going down.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to just a bad signing for Southampton, isn't it, to be honest. I went with Jakob Moda from Brighton.
Okay.
Hasn't really played much this season.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And he's just Brighton have such a big squad in general. They've got so many players
So
everywhere.
many midfielders
That's
as well.
it, yeah. And it's hard for him to get minutes. And yes, he had a few injury problems, but why not go to Southampton? You know, you're going to get played week in, week out. Yes, you might go.
Player.
Yeah, you might go down to the Championship, but you're going to come straight back up. You know, Southampton usually do. And his transfer value is around 10 million. So why not take a risk?
Or even a loan.
Yeah, and they're going to get a parachute payment anyway from getting relegated. So yeah, I went with Yakamoto.
All right. On to Spurs now.
Yep.
Again, having another tough season, injury crisis, especially at centre back.
Yeah.
And that's what's inspired my pick of Fikayo Tomori.
Yeah, I've seen that in the
I'm a big
news.
fan of this player. Yeah. Basically AC Milan are willing to sell.
Yep.
For around 15 to 20 million, which I think is insane.
That is mental, to be fair.
Well, that's the reported fee.
Yeah.
It could be more, obviously.
Even a little bit more than that is ridiculous.
I mean, he's 27, so he's a good age.
Yeah.
And he's got Premier League experience with Chelsea. He's a London boy as well. Basically, he's fast, he's strong, he's a ball-playing centre-back as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll get crucified for this, but if he comes in, I think he starts over Romero.
Yeah.
I think he's better disciplined. And I just think he'd be a good fit for Ange's system. And at that price as well in January, what could go wrong?
Yeah,
exactly.
why not?
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Who have you got for Spurs?
I went with Pascal Strugic, I think they say that, from Leeds, centre-back.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
As you said, centre-back crisis, you know, centre-back's fallen off a cliff left, right and centre. Been the third best centre-back in terms of average rating this season in the Championship.
Okay.
And it's been solid for Leeds, I feel like, for a few years now. Even when he was in the Premier League, didn't really stick out as a bad player when he was at Leeds. In the Premier League, he's got 13 clean sheets in 24 games this season, and saying he's got Meslier behind him, that is some achievement.
I knew you were going to bring up Meslier. Nah,
Jesus Christ!
I've seen some of the footage of his howlers; they have been horrendous.
Yeah.
I know you're just rubbing your hands and giggling.
He is the centre back in front of him that's kept 13 clean sheets. Them clean sheets must be down to
29.
It must be down to defence and not the goalkeeper, because he has been awful this season. He wouldn't be a big signing in terms of transfer value. Yes, Leeds might come up, but you're going to a Premier League side who's established in the Premier League, challenging for Europe every season,
and he has Prem experience.
That's it. Exactly. Got a few Dutch players in there as well already, so why not? Pascal Strugic from Leeds.
That's a decent shout. Right, on to my club, West Ham.
Yeah.
There is a lot of positions that need fixing.
Yeah, I feel like it's more down to the manager.
I have gone with a striker.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his, and him being out of contract in July helped me put him into this team, because I did have someone else.
Okay.
But I've gone with Jonathan David.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Yeah, good shout.
It's a little bit punchy because of how well he's doing with Lille. He's got 11 goals in 13 starts.
Yeah.
And he can also play out on the left as well.
Yeah.
He's drifted out left. Again, referencing his heat map, he's gone out left.
Yeah.
On a free, yes, we'll have to wait till July. But knowing you're getting quality come in, European experience, like I said, 24, he's 6 foot or 5'11", so you know he's got a bit of physicality about him.
Yeah.
And of course, our strikers have been dog shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just think there's worse players to sign and kick off a reign as a manager than Jonathan David.
Fair enough. I went with Jürgen Strand-Larsen from Wolves.
I'm not sure of that one.
No,
but
I like him.
I
really like him, to be fair. 19 starts this season. He's got 7 goals and 2 assists.
In a Wolves
side.
In a Wolves team.
Yeah. And he's on loan currently from Celta Vigo to Wolves. So once he goes back to Celta Vigo, or maybe negotiate a deal now for the summer, he's probably going to be around the 20-25 million mark, because Celta Vigo can't really demand much really, because he's not going to want to be there after having a good season in the Premier League. Why would you not want to stay in the Premier League, and keep battling in there? He's 24 years old. He's just a strong player. I just like his determination. I watched him a few times this season, and he's always digging in for the team.
We need that.
Yeah, and there's sort of no ego about him. He just works hard, does his job, and he's got, as I said, 7 goals, 2 assists. I feel like he's a good player, knows how to finish his chances, and has sort of outperformed his XG as well. His XG is at around 5.5, so he's got 7 goals. So it just shows that he can find the corners when he does need to. So yeah, I went with Strand-Larsen.
Fair enough, you turned me.
Yeah,
you turned me into liking.
He's a good player. Do watch out for him. He's a very good player.
Well, yeah, I'm happy with both those suggestions. I'll be happy with both of them. Right, last but not least, Wolves.
Yeah.
Under new management.
Yeah.
I have gone with Rafa Silva of Besiktas.
Oh yeah, Peg Benfica. Yeah.
It's a little bit lazy. I was like, let's look at Portuguese players.
I looked in the Portuguese league too. Yeah.
I did as well.
Yeah.
And I saw him for Besiktas. I was like, let's see his stats.
Yeah.
They're not great, but it is the Turkish league, so the quality of like finishing and players is probably not as high as the Premier League.
Yeah.
So he is a brilliant high presser and a long ball distributor.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just think with the forwards they have, Strand Larsen, like you said, Cunha, they could really capitalise on that and boost his numbers up. He's only valued at 11 million.
Yeah.
And of course, Premier League to the Turkish league, your eyes are going to light up.
Yeah.
He's 31, which is the only downside.
Yeah.
But if you get him in a position that he can, handle, either in the 10 or in the wings.
I went with Ainsley Maitland-Niles at right back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Doherty, I don't think he's good enough. I think when I saw him a few days ago against Forest, he was shocking.
I didn't see the game.
They beat him 3-0 comfortably, Forest.
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi ran in riot. Just constantly getting in behind. And for one of the goals, I think it was the second goal for Chris Wood, just run the length of the pitch. Doherty couldn't get near him. He just cut back to Chris Wood and he slotted it in. And I just feel like they're crying out for a sort of right back now. Semedo's getting on, he's 31, 32. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's Premier League experience, I feel, again, another one who's got unfinished business, I feel like, in the Premier League,
And I'm not referencing the story he made or taking the piss, but he genuinely wants to play.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think he does play at Wolves.
He's been playing a lot for Lyon as well. They've encountered their own financial trouble, so I could see a decent fee coming in for him, like about 15, 20 million maybe.
Yeah, he'd snap your hand off.
That's it, exactly. He's got 1 goal, 2 assists, which ain't great, but his average rating's 7. So he contributes defensively as well as going forward, and he can play that right wing back role. We've seen at Arsenal when he played there for a few years. West Brom as well. I think they played a 5 back as well when he was there. Can do a job at right wing back, right back. And as I said, for a fee like that, why not? That
is the end of the video. It's been a bit of a long one.
Yep.
But let us know what you think of our suggestions down below in the comments. Don't forget to put your own suggestions. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll catch you next one, guys. See you later.